everyone, it's Asheritah from One Thing Alone Ministries, and I know it's late, but I wanted to jump on to share with you my 3 must-haves in a planner, because I just found out that the planner I use and love is back in stock for like a very limited amount of time. So I wanted to share this with you and show you just how powerful it is to have a planner that helps you work toward your goals, to spend time with Jesus at the end of the year, at the beginning of a new year, and just in prayer ask him, what is it that you want this year to look like for me? What do you have for my life? But then also to have a way, like a plan, to work toward those goals day by day. So for me, there are 3 things that I absolutely have to have in a planner. And I've searched high and low for something like this, and I finally found it in the iBloom planner. And if you want, you can go and download like a free sample to look at it. Just go to onethingalone.com/iBloom planner, all one word, and that will send you over to iBloom to download your free sample. But 3 must-haves in a planner for me. The first thing is yearly goal setting. So I'm not talking about the basics, like it has to have a calendar and months of the year and that, like that's just a given in a planner. But I want it to have a goal setting page for the year. And this is what I love about the iBloom planner, is that before it has you setting goals, it has you looking at, okay, my reality check for the past year. Personally, what is going well, what's not going well, and what needs to change. As well as in my business or career, it gives me space to be able to plan that out. And then look at priorities and personal goals for the coming year. And this is right at the beginning of the planner, so it gives me several pages to do that before it even gets into the monthly tabs. So top must-have for me is a planner has to have a space to be able to set goals for the year. Realistic goals, break them down into chunks, and I can show you more how I use my planner maybe Friday, we'll see. I'll try to jump back on and show you how I use my planner to actually work toward the goals that I set at the beginning of every year. But number 1 must-have is yearly goal setting. Number 2, kind of breaking it down, is a monthly review. So it's one thing to like set goals at the beginning of the year. It's an entirely different thing to work toward those goals month by month. And this is one of the things I love with the iBloom planner, is that at the beginning of each month, so here's like the month overall, but then if you flip to the opposite page, it will show you, okay, here are my goals for this month. So taking like the big goals for the year, breaking them down, and then it gives you a space to think about, okay, what are things I'm grateful for? What are relationships I want to invest in this month? What's going well? What's not going well? What needs to change? Like, this is a recurring theme with the iBloom planner, and I love it because it's always good to pause and reflect on what is going well. Like, what are things that we can celebrate? And what are things that we need to change to adjust course? Because what is it? The definition of insanity is trying to do the same thing multiple times with different results. It's not going to work. So I love the monthly review in the iBloom planner. It has the yearly goal setting as well. So those are 2 of my top 3. And the third thing, and I think this is honestly one of my favorite features, and I'll show you this, is blank space to be able to write things out for the week. So let me show you here for 2018. Here's an example. So at the top of every like weekly layout, there's blank space at the top here, and there's blank space at the bottom here, as well as space to like schedule things out and write out like my to-do list. And I love this because the way I use it is I will write my projects at the top of the page and then bring them down when I need to work on them. And then at the bottom, it depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I use it to write out my meal plans when I'm on top of my meal planning game, which I have not been for the last month or 2. But I like that there's space to be able to do that at the bottom, and then space to like break out the major projects I'm working on and write to-do lists there. So I'll explain a little bit more about the highlighting and the crossing and how I bring things down in my next video on how I use my planner. But those are my top 3 must-haves for a planner. 1, yearly goal setting, 2, a monthly review, and 3, free space to use throughout the week to be able to map it out and personalize the planner to what I need it to do for my life. And I love that the iBloom planner does all 3 of those in just such a beautiful and natural way. So I'll share more about how I do that on Friday. But until then, you can head over and download your own like free preview of the iBloom planner. Go to onethingalone.com/iBloom planner, and that will redirect you to the page. Or if you like this and you're like, yeah, that's the kind of thing I want, like every time I share these planners online, people ask me like, where do you get them? And it's on iBloom. They were out of stock. This is my 2017, 2018. They were out of stock and they just ordered a few more. So go get yours. Elisa, do they sell hard copies? They do. They do. So this is what I was just talking about. They were out of stock and only selling digital copies, but Kelly, the founder of iBloom, realized that the period that they were pre-selling the planners was during like the same time as a few natural disasters, and she couldn't stand the thought of anyone not being able to get the planner if they wanted to. So she ordered a few more copies, hard copies, in stock. And I just talked to her last night. She said they still have a few available. So if you like this, if you want it, like, this is what I use. Head over to onethingalone.com/iBloom planner, and that will send you to the page where you can order it. If you know you already want it, go ahead and run and get it. If you just want to see a preview, I think they have like a 5-day for the weekly layout and the monthly for you to see what it's like and just print it out and use it for a few days. So Chantel, you have both. Yes, I do prefer the hard copy. As you can tell, I mark it up a lot. So, so fun that you're on here joining me. Thank you. I'll be back, I think maybe Friday. We'll see. I'll try to do it earlier in the day and just share with you my system for how I break things down. And then how I actually use this to work toward goals and achieve goals. 2017 has been, God has just blessed us in our home, in our family, in our ministry, and we've just seen exponential growth. And one of the tools that I've used is the iBloom planner. So I'd love to tell you more about that. I'll do that on Friday in a video. So until then, go to onethingalone.com/iBloom planner. Download your free copy, or if you want it, go ahead and order it while they're still in stock. And I will share with you Alyssa. Why am I Alyssa, right? Not Elisa. I'm going to say Elisa. Alyssa and everyone else, I will share with you how I use it on Friday. All right, you guys have a great night. Bye.